right, guys. Good practice out there today. 10 days away, so the focus is where it needs to be. I think the guys are excited again. We continue to talk about ourselves and try to fix the things that we need to fix, offense, defense, and special teams. But there's a sense knowing that they've got a great opponent, Arkansas State, coming to the Liberty Bowl, and the chance to play football. So the guys got the right mindset. We just got to keep pushing forward one day at a time. I like where they're at. Got after a little bit today and continue to push forward.
Okay, Terry Davis.
Hey, Coach, in this current situation, in the past, you guys did a lot of things for team building, off the field, to try to build that chemistry. What can you do in this current climate?
Yeah, Terry, that's a great question. We didn't have the chance to go to Jackson, obviously, with a shortened training camp and then a lot of those things, right? We've done, a lot of team building activities, for whether it be going doing things by a fireplace, all those different things that we've been able to do. Obviously with COVID and then a shortened training camp and now hours, we're limited. So we just encourage them, obviously, to try to build those relationships amongst themselves. I think one of the things that's unique that we do is we put the pictures of everybody's family in the back of the locker. So when they get here, and every year we ask them who's important in their life, right? Who sacrificed to get them where they are now? And some people have a grandmother, some people have a sibling, some people have their parents or a parent in the back of their locker. And we encourage them throughout camp to talk about that person that was in the back of the locker, right? Or those people that sacrificed to get them. So I think that, with having these guys stand up in front of each other and talk about that, it kind of led us into some of these people's personal lives and their story. And I think that's one of the best things we can do as a team building, as they get to know each other, even though we're in a different environment, the way we got to do things, obviously being smart socially. So those are some of the things we got to continue it along the season. We'll have certain ideas, obviously, as things progress. But, I think the pictures in the back of the locker is one of the rare team building things because we can talk about it in a spread out environment. But, you're right. It's not like we're able to go to theme parks and do a lot of those other things that we're used to doing.
Devin Walker.
Hey, Coach. How you doing?
Good, Devin. How are you?
I'm doing well. So you made the decision to put the BLM sticker on the back of the helmet. With the current climate of what's going on with the Jacob Blake situation and everything in America, it's kind of resurfacing with conversations. What have those conversations for you and your guys have been like, and have you seen any guys kind of interacting about what's going on in America again?
I think we've always encouraged healthy dialogue, regardless of it sadly having to be a recent incident, Devin. Obviously, we wish there were no incidents and we were able to continue the dialogue regardless. And we need to continue as a staff to support and encourage healthy dialogue and make sure that we're discussing things. Obviously there's a lot of things going on in our society that, I think it's important for us to talk to our guys about, right? Not just be there. When we are as football coaches, like I mentioned before, our number one job is to serve our student athletes. And by doing that, it's not just in between the white lines, it's being there for them academically and everything that's occurring socially. So I encourage that dialogue. If we walk into every meeting and we just talk about X's and O's instead of what's going on in real life every single day, well, are we really developing young men that will help us and create a better society? So, Devin, I got to do a better job, continue to encourage that dialogue along the way. But like I said, I hope that it never went. I hope that it wasn't a single incident that would require, more dialogue. I hope that our guys are constantly seeing what we can do to make a difference in society.
Evan Barnes.
Ryan, just to kind of follow up on that, I mean, just, you give guys the space to kind of have these conversations and talks, but just maybe specifically within these last 2 days, kind of, have you seen the guys kind of want to talk more about just this recent situation and kind of just want to, express themselves, and have you given them the space to process this? Because obviously right now it's kind of something that, again, people are talking about in the country. We saw Doc Rivers mention it yesterday, but just have you heard anything these last few days from players just specifically toward this recent incident?
They have not, come out. And again, like I said, I was mentioning to Devin, I've got to do a better job of continuing to push that communication, push that dialogue, and encourage our staff to do so as well, to make it open up and realize, and that's 100% on me. I've got to do a better job with that. But, I do think our guys do communicate and talk about it. But as a staff, we've got to continue to encourage it. Like you said, make that platform available for us. And if that means that we take 10 minutes out of the next team meeting, which we will have soon, a lot of these times we go straight to position meetings. And that's 100% on me. I've got to do a better job of making sure that, hey, take a pause and realize that this is occurring. And it's important to discuss. But like I said, our guys have done a wonderful job of communicating. And again, it's sad that an incident occurs where it's now the dialogue's being brought back up. It should have never changed, right? The dialogue should have been constantly going. We as a society need to constantly push for a change for the better. And it 100% starts on me making sure that I'm encouraging our guys to open up and see what we can do for them.
Evan, do you have a follow-up?
I do, and it's on a different note. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago that you hope that this, the Memphis Arkansas State game, if it was to be a primetime showcase, it would be great for the program, for the conference. If that's still going to happen, would you guys? How would you feel if the game ended up having that primetime slot next week, knowing that there aren't that many games on the schedule?
Absolutely. Let's put it on showcase, right? Like I said, Arkansas State's a heck of an opponent. We're going to get everything they have. I'm telling you what, they're fantastically, like I mentioned yesterday, they're well coached. They've got a lot of skill, a lot of talent. I mean, think about this. They return every single starter on their offense with a -1 wide receiver, but they return a ton of depth. Their entire offensive line's back, both their quarterbacks. I mean, you want to talk about some nose guards. They've got some of the best nose guards we've ever seen. And, we know they're going to get it. So I'm really, really hoping for a primetime game. I think our guys will. Not that they need to play up for the primetime, but if the fans are limited in the stands, we know we'll be able to put on for the country, and that will certainly excite us a little bit more.
Okay, Terry Davis.
Hey, Coach, this team produce great when they're having fun out there, and that comes with great execution. How is the execution coming on both ends of the ball, offensively and defensively?
Yeah, as we continue to approach it, like I said, we need, Terry, to continue to focus on ourselves. The execution's getting there. It's never going to be 100%, but like I said, as we build towards game day, we want to see a cleaner, crisper, be more assignment sound, right? I always say if we can play smart and sound football, we have a chance in every game, regardless of who our opponent is, as long as we focus on ourselves and don't make mistakes. So I think we're getting to where we need to be from an assignment standpoint and execution standpoint. But we're going to push and strive for it every single day. Obviously, if we put new installation in, sometimes, it may be, hey, put this foot up instead of that one. Make sure you're getting extra yard on this depth of this route. And so as we move forward, those are things that will constantly be in dialogue as we start to put together a game plan.